Oh, internet! Oh, my voice is killing me right now. What's up, everybody? What's going on? We're back. We're back. Back again. Mr. Cotter, right? How's it go? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the internet. Live on the internet. How you doing? Good to see all you lovely, shining people in the chat. It's unbelievable. Thank you, guys. Who was first to the chat? It's been chatting so chatterific in the Chatty McChatterton chat box. It's hard to know if you try to scroll all the way back because you can't. You just can't. But I know who it was. Can you take a wild guess? Hey, what are you dogs doing? I don't know what those dogs are doing. I don't know what those dogs were up to, but I would say, what up, Candy Overhauls, first to the chat. Oh my gatos, you guys. Candy, illustrious Overhauls. That's what we're calling her now. Her middle name is now Illustrious. I don't know why that is, but probably has something to do with Mother's Day. Yesterday was Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Not only my mom, but happy Mother's Day to my mom, but happy Mother's Day to Caleb's mom. And I see Caleb in the chat. What is up, Caleb? I notice you popping up in the chat there, my guy. I would like to say, in regards to the Happy Mother's Day, just as a quick reminder to you guys, the Caleb Overhauls GoFundMe with Sunia Lee, who is the sister of Kang Lee, the editor of Twin City Guppies channel, which I must say, those videos are just getting better and better and better. Shout out to Kang Lee. I can't wait to get out there and come check it out. I think it's on the calendar. I'm not sure. To be brutally honest with you, I was looking at my calendar earlier today for this year. I got what is this, weeds in my eyebrows? That's how ridiculous my eyebrows are. I got weeds in them. Jeez. Come on now. He's got weeds in his eyebrows out there running the weed whacker. Sorry, just noticed that. A little distracted today. A little jet lagged. But Sunia Lee throwing down $100 to the GoFundMe for Caleb. Dan Squires just posted in the chat. I always want to tell you guys, hey, share my videos, share my thing or whatever, because that's just, the natural order of things to be I worked on a thing. I hope you guys like it, and tell the other people to like it. But the most important thing to me is let's continue having fantastic Mother's Days for Candy and try and help out with the situation over there. I'm not going to get too detailed into it. I'm just going to say our man Caleb, Mr. Surprises himself, we got to remember we're trying to help out with that. We're trying to rock and roll. That GoFundMe over the line to help out a family in need. And speaking of a family in need, you guys, before we left, we had a goal, okay? I know to a lot of people this was quite a while ago, but it was 2 weeks ago while we were here, and we had Miss Pamela Erlewine, a.k.a. 54 Punchy, whose computer finally exploded. All of the duct tape, chewing gum, and baling wire holding that thing together gave out, and I'm happy to say, you guys, we hit the mark. that thing's going on, and we hope to see Miss Pamela back here on Wednesday. As far as I know, it will be delivered by the mailman or whoever. We'll be getting that delivered, and we'll have some of that great news right there. So thank you to you guys for just kicking ass and doing what we can to try and just, I don't know, just make a little mark on the world and make the world just a little bit of a better place. But big shout to Sunia for kicking in a big donation there. That was huge. I noticed that earlier today, and I thought, you know what? I better not miss mentioning that because it's dope. Not to mention everybody else on there, from Robbie Taylor to Daryl Dimer to Paul Gordon, all y'all kicking in on there. I think everybody knows I'm not related to the Overhauls or anything like that, but loving it. Loving that. It's a big deal. Jay and Keller's asking, stream freeze. Do I have a stream freeze? I don't think so. Is it? It might be possible. I don't think so. Chat's still running. I don't know. It seems like everything's working. I'll just keep acting like everything's okay. Let me think. Let me type it in here. I'll type it in. Okay, cool. Nope, it was just Jay and Keller. Okay. I always get worried about that because there are some times that the stream does like freak out and does freeze. It's always good to know that sometimes maybe it's just your guys' connection. I know it happens, and I know those things do happen from time to time, and we have to wipe the seeds and dandelion nonsense out of our eyebrows and just sometimes hit that refresh. You know what I'm saying? Whew, Too Real for YouTube is here. Oh, what up? With the fish family. Liking it. Good to see you guys. I'm so happy to be back at my house, at my home with my lovely spouse. If anyone is not my friend on Facebook or whatever, I understand. I get it. This is not a concern or a complaint or anything like that. But you may have missed the news. The lovely Vicky Toria and myself have brewed up what I'm hoping will be beautiful. I'm sure she'll be beautiful in my eyes. Oh, we're having a lovely baby girl, and I'm telling you guys, I don't think I could be more excited. People were asking me, did I want to have a boy or a girl? And I'm going to tell you guys something, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I don't care. My hopes and dreams are healthy. Just a healthy baby. That's it. That's all I'm worried about. But we found out it's a girl. I'm super stoked. Just because the little increments of good things are moving right along. And we did a bunch of the genetic screening and stuff. Everything looks good. So that's definitely solid good news, and I'm pretty stoked. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about, you guys, and today I'm mainly going to be focusing on the American Livebearers Association, which was the first stop on our trip, and definitely has something to do with where'd this thing go? I got to click the buttons around here. With our first super chat of having returned from Mr. Gone Mad himself. 555. What's up, dude? Saying, your fish fam when you have to check out any cool fish shops when you're on vacation. Bluefish and watercolors were da bomb. Yes, so in relation to what that is about, that was when we went to the American Livebearers Association in Grand Rapids, Michigan, okay? We went on a store tour, so we drove all around town and went on a bunch of store tours. I got some video from that. I think I'm going to put it all into one video of going to all three of the fish. I think we went to 3. Maybe it was 4. Did we go to 4? Oh, man, I'm kind of forgetting now. I have to admit, this has been a very action-packed trip. Not to say that I forgot here. Who was asking? Somebody says it looks like I got some color because out in Nuremberg. Yes, in Nuremberg, it was sunny. In Michigan, it was sunny. And a return to Seattle, it's 85 degrees and sunny. So it has just been sunny everywhere. Everyone in the chat right now is currently saying congratulations on who said it was fake news? Let me see. Oh, I don't know. Oh, David Lopez, hashtag fake news. He's got the winky eye on there, you know? He's got the winky eye on there. But yes, we are having a girl. That obviously is some of the biggest news you could ever have, especially when you're 100 million like me, and it's going to be your first baby. Hold on a second here. Why is it? I got like, all right, let me see. Maybe I got it. I don't know. Apparently my eyebrows are so ridiculous that they've been full of like stuff from weed whacking today. And somehow my hair has nothing. This is weird. All right. Sorry. Sorry about that. But now I completely forgot what I was talking about. Oh, yeah. It was like we went to 3 or 4 stores. Okay. And so I'm just going to combine those all into one video because I think it feels really disingenuous to do like one video. So I'm going to put those all together, and then I'll do a little video from the convention. And I will say this, I did get some video from the convention and stuff. And by the way, here's some Mr. Browns to you all. Shout out. Thank you for sending me Mr. Browns. It helps keep me alive. I feel like I'm going to die. Honestly, my jet lag and stuff I feel like I'm going to die. People in the early chat know I was saying I took a leave. I was feeling just so miserable. I don't know if I got the convention crud or just being on airplanes so much because, I mean, there's like basically multiple 24 hours of like flying around. And multiple long hangouts in airports and things like that. So I might have a cold. I'm not sure. You know, my lymph nodes feel fine. They don't feel swollen or nothing, but I do feel like I got some of the crud, and it might just miraculously go away tomorrow. Because it's decidedly less today than it was yesterday, but needless to say, I flew in yesterday. We got in later than we were supposed to. Basically got home about 5, and I've been trying to offload all this video and start getting everything sorted, because it is a ton of stuff. I know a lot of people gave me a hard time because of my so this is how I keep my video cards, because I'm 100 million years old, right? I keep my video cards in a Monday through Sunday pill container thing. Everyone's giving me a hard time because I'm like 1 billion years old, and but that's how I have to keep track of it. Maybe someday, people were saying I should get a Pelican, like a mini Pelican SD card case. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that, but that costs money, and this was free. So I think this is like one of those free things. It was sponsored by some healthcare company. I don't know. They were like giving them away, so I just got this for free, and it seems to work pretty good for free, I'm telling you. You know what I mean? Yeah, Monday's pills are 128 gigs, so that's Monday's a pretty big day. That's a big shooting day, you know. You get 128 gigs of footage. But a lot of people laughing at me being a cheapskate, but it seems to keep them pretty well in order. But I'm still having to offload, get all that stuff. And I'm currently editing the part 2 of the fish room tour, so the return from coming back. I wanted to give you guys an update on the full update on the tanks and stuff, which there's some issues going on. We have some algae, and we got some stuff. We got some certain things going on with the tanks, just basically because they've just been sitting there running. Got a ton of light jamming into them and things like that. So it's working. It's working. So we don't have a video segment today. I will talk as long as I feel like we're being interesting. And then if people are like, dude, you're just rambling on about nothing, let me know, and then I'll get back to editing. Also, I don't want to spoil tomorrow's Real Fish Talk show. We got a Real Fish Talk show tomorrow, regularly scheduled Tuesday at 3 o'clock. So set your calendars. If you're not subscribed to the Real Fish Talk, roll over there. That is myself, Corey, and Schwisky himself, who I saw in the chat. I didn't say hi to him because I'm I'm trying to catch up, you guys. I'm trying to catch up, you know. But that's me, Corey from Aquarium Co-op, and the Schwisky from Aquarium Co-op. Co-op. How do you say it? Co-op? Coop? Aquarium Co-op. So I will say, stay tuned for that, because that's going to be a back and forth with Kobe and I. We've basically been living together for the last 2 weeks out of suitcases and catching planes and trying to figure out taxi cabs and rides and trying to find a place to eat. I'm gonna tell you, it's a pretty funny story, and I don't want to spoil it. But you guys got to come on and ask tomorrow about Corey and I walking around Nuremberg trying to find a restaurant to eat at. It's pretty good. But let's stay a little bit focused on Grand Rapids, Michigan ALA. Although I see Schwisky right there in the chat posted a pretty contextual question here that I enjoy very much. He says, "Are you stoked to be back in your fish room with ideas and motivation from the trip?" Yes, I'm very much motivated. It's not so much from the tanks, to be honest with you guys. I have seen gigantic aquascapes many times. Some that I've been jealous of, like, whoa. Some that I've been like, what were you doing? All in between. But I will say the biggest thing I'm inspired by is the people. 100%. I'm 100% inspired by the people that I met. The people I got a chance to meet again when I was in Michigan, like Turbofish, like Gone Mad, like Texas Tanks, like Derek Runyon. Shout out to everybody that came to the ALA in Michigan. Let's see, Lucas Bretz, Sergeant Tanks for sure. Great host. Thank you very much. And then plus a whole bunch of other people that I hadn't met at the ALA in Michigan. If you guys don't know what the American Livebearer Association is, this is their annual meeting kind of convention thing, which was pretty awesome. I will say it was pretty awesome and pretty darn good. And it was just really amazing to meet a lot of people, that I haven't met before, and then B, a second time. What? How? I don't understand it. Do I have, like, bugs on me? What is it? How did I get something on me again? Do I have, like, aphids on me or something? I don't understand. Super weird, you guys. Maybe I've got aphids. Do I have aphids in my eyebrows? I don't know. It's ridiculous. I feel like I'm being a totally ridiculous person right now. I don't know why. That was weird. What was that? I don't know. I'm kind of freaking out. Might have to go take, like, 10 showers. I don't know what the... I don't know what that was. And I hope I'm not dying. Hopefully I'm not. But it could just be sleep deprivation, but I swear there was something, I don't know. That was weird. Maybe my trips gave me aphids. I could be losing it. Yeah, sorry guys. I don't know what that was. Let's see. Ryan Brown says, "Saw you got to meet George Farmer. That was awesome." Yes, I got to meet George Farmer. We got to hang out a bunch and kind of definitely talk about some possibilities of what could be going on. I also got to meet Yuri, who I cannot pronounce his last name, but he is the social media guy for Tropica Plants. If you guys don't know who Tropica Plants is, go look it up, because if you don't know who Tropica Plants is, you's in the dark. You's tripping if you don't know who those guys are. So I would definitely go check that out. We had a fantastic dinner with those guys, and we spent a bunch of time like wandering around Nuremberg in the middle of the night. So it was pretty good. We had a fun time, and definitely Was it a bonding experience? Yes, it was. It was pretty fun. George Farmer is, I will tell you flat out, consider him a friend at this point, and consider him a friend at this point. Definitely a great guy. We had a good time, and I do look forward to the possibility of some cool projects coming down in the future. But Yuri also, I look forward to doing some stuff with those guys. And I'll talk on Wednesday about some of the other people I met in Europe, and we'll discuss. We shall discuss what we should do about that. Let's see. T. Frakes Tanks has a kind of a timely question here. He is asking, they're going to be flea bombing his apartment building for whatever, let me see, termites. They're going to be gassing for termites, and this is like as scary as it gets for aquariums. Now, here's what you need to do. The first step that you need to do is take every single filter off. You have to take them off like the day before or whatever, and get them out of the building, because there's really no way to keep those sealed up. There just isn't. Then you also need to take all of your lights off of the aquariums, and you need to saran wrap the life out of them, okay? You really do. You really need to saran wrap the life out of them. You just really need to do that. Well, I don't know. Candy says I'm making her all itchy, but now I'm all paranoid because there was like some kind of bug in my eyebrow or something, and I don't understand. Is there like... I know I was out there weed whacking, and I saw a bunch of aphids, so I'm wondering if it's probably like I got aphids all over me or something. Sorry about that. But to get back to the termite bombing question, then you need to saran wrap every single tank as tightly as possible and get back in there as quickly as possible and air out the room. Last time we bug bombed a house, we took all the filters and put them... we put them in a garage, right? In like a separate garage. And then we kept them running in a bucket so we could keep them cycled. We put them into, like a little holding, what's that thing? Like the black tote. We had them all running into there to keep them all cycled and stuff. It was the best thing that we could do. And then put them back to the tanks and basically got them all sorted out. Everyone's freaking out about aphids now, but don't worry about aphids. They're just bothersome. They're not gonna harm you. Aphids aren't gonna get you. Don't worry. But yeah, now I'm all itchy because I'm like kind of freaked out if there's a bug on me or something. A little bit weird. But that's the life. One thing I would like to mention to all the Europeans out there, I know this is going to freak you out, but look what I have here, you guys. You see what I have here? I have a frosty, cold jar of still water, okay? And if y'all out here in the Americas or Canada or Japan, I don't know, anywhere, will understand what I'm talking about when I say all of their water is carbonated, okay? This water right here has some ice in it. It's ice cold, and it doesn't have any carbonation in it. It's what they like to refer to as still water. They try to act like ice water is a menu item in Europe. And they ain't bringing it to you. One of the weird things, in America, you get a water. You know what I mean? Like you sit down at a restaurant, they bring you a water. They bring you an ice water, okay? They don't bring you carbonated water. They bring you water like you're supposed to drink. That's like drinking water. And boy, howdy, I will tell you, I felt like I was like super dehydrated while I was in Europe because I couldn't even get some water. I just wanted water. I just wanted still water. I just wanted water, okay? And it was like stressing me out at one point. I even, like one of the places we went to, I was like, yeah, I want still water. So the guy comes back with a glass bottle of water, And he's like, well, this is really lightly carbonated, so it's like still water. like, what? Like, can I just have some regular, like, water from the stream? Like, it's less work. It's less work to get me just regular water, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. It was a little bit ridiculous. But T-Frakes, hopefully I answered your question, but you really need to get them covered. Get the filters out of there. The most optimal thing that you could do is drain the tanks down and remove them from the building. That would be the best thing that you could do. It just depends on how many tanks you have, if that's something that you could do. That termite spray is ridiculously toxic to pretty much any kind of aquarium critter. I don't know if it's super toxic to the plants. It might not be, but it is super toxic to anything in the tanks. And then do not run an air stone in it. You need to like cellophane the tank and tape it up and make sure that there's no air or anything getting into it. You have to seal it up 100%. You can't put an air stone in there. Dan Squire saying hang the air pump out the window. It's possible that you could pump water in or air in from like really far away, but then you'd need something that was letting the air out, which would most likely let the toxin in. You see, I personally, at this point in time, I would take the tanks out. That's what I would do. I would just feel like this is part of them spraying, and it's just part of the work that needs to be done because you don't want your house to fall down because of termites or whatever. But I would just consider it part of the work, pull the tanks out, and go that route because that would be the real reason. Congo Jormungang says, Jormungang, nice, says the real reason the revolution happened wasn't about taxes. It's just because we just wanted water, just regular water. James Caswell says, I don't know about the marine land, but my tap pours out tea. Is it tea and biscuits? I didn't see as much tea in Europe. We were just in France and Germany, so but there was tea was around, but obviously I wasn't in the UK, so maybe the tea's more prevalent there than the other areas. But while I was there, a big part of it was everyone was either drinking beer or carbonated water, which is very odd. And as some of you guys may or may not know, yesterday was Mother's Day, but yesterday was day 1,461 sober for me. Yesterday, which, if you're not a super math wizard or anything like that, let's count them 1, 2, 3, 4 years sober for this guy right here. So yeah, kudos to me. I made it to 4 years sober. Now I'm 4 years and 1 day. Yeah. What up now, kid? What up now, kid? What up? So, give myself just one pat on the back of my head and let myself know that today is the same as every other day, but we managed to hit a milestone of 4 years sober. So I wasn't going to drink the beer, and I didn't want to drink the carbonated water. It's just super bizarre. But, hey, I will say that in Michigan, it was much easier to get a water, although there was a point in time, the hotel that we were staying in, I don't know what was going on, but boy howdy, there was a lot of fish keepers staying there, and I think that they were buying out all the bottled water out of the machines, because I went to every machine in the building, and I couldn't get a bottle of water out of the vending machine. It was crazy. So this whole entire trip, I had weird interactions with just getting a drink of water. It was a little bit odd. It was a little bit odd that it came from the States all the way over, but I will tell you guys a little story while we were in Michigan. Turbofish and myself went on a little hike. We went to go explore a little bit. And I can't really tell you why. You know, I can't really tell you why. Oh, shucks. Of course I could tell you why. It's because Kobe was giving a presentation. I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen a lot of Kobe presentations, so I'm going to go hike around because I haven't seen a lot of Michigan stuff. So I left Kobe to it because everyone was super zazzed to hear the guy give a presentation, which I will say, if you do get a chance to go see Mr. Koopy himself give a talk, it's very enjoyable, and they're very good. But he was giving a talk on Livebearers, and I was like, dude, I've heard his guppy talks, and I definitely know a lot of the projects that he's working on and stuff like that. So, you know, I was like, cool. What I haven't done is wander around Michigan with my camera and stuff and like get some pictures. So we actually went out and kind of hiked around a little bit. Went for a good walk, which was good, and because I like to go on little hikes and stuff, and this was just a little baby hike. We didn't really go super far, but we got some cool pictures while we were out there, and I'll tell you this much. I got exposed to the fact that Panera Bread actually has like a kale, mango kale green smoothie thing, which was intensely good. I wouldn't say I'm either a huge fan or not of Panera, but I mean, I'm don't dislike it or anything like that. I wouldn't know that I'm a huge fan, but I'm a big fan of that green shake thing, the green smoothie thing that they make at Panera, because it was, yeah, it was pretty good. I was pretty stoked. Let's see. Brianna Leiter is asking, my biggest fear of getting shrimp is the horror stories of them escaping and finding a random escapee somewhere in my house. Have you experienced that? Yeah, sometimes shrimps get out, but they just are like a dried up shrimp. That's just kind of sad. It's not scary. It's not dirty. It's just kind of sad. Like, oh, man. You know, it's like, oh, man, you got out and there was nowhere else for you to go. So it's just kind of sad that that happened. It's the same kind of thing, like every once in a while, like a killifish or something like that will jump out of the tank. You know, it's along that. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. But if you have healthy shrimp and stuff like that, they'll be breeding like crazy. And, you know, one of them, I know this is kind of mean to say, but like one of them probably won't be missed. It probably won't be the biggest deal once you've had them breeding. I mean, obviously I don't like it if anything dies, but it's not the craziest thing in the world, especially if you go to the store and see the bags and bags and bags and bags and bags and bags and bags of freeze-dried krill. Kind of the same thing. But M. Howie 9, my guy, great host while we were in Michigan, and with a super chat here. Throwing down a super chat saying barbecue money. It was fun meeting you and Corey and a bunch of other people in Grand Rapids. Agreed, my man. And thanks for chipping in on the super chat, my bruh. It was great to meet you. He drove us around a bunch. And Big Texas Tanks with a super chat here, too, saying, sorry, Joel, I'm in lurker mode. Good to have you back. It was great meeting you. Next time you're in Michigan, don't be a stranger. That is right. I won't be. I won't be a stranger next time I'm in Michigan. Hopefully I get to meet you guys again, along with Gone Mad, Turbofish, and Derek Runyon, along with others that are just escaping. It's not, I just forgetting, you know. But if you were there, give me a shout. Let me know. Remind me. Let's see. Alyssa Bentley just showed up saying, wow, I wasn't expecting a stream today. Welcome back. Yes, I just got back off the plane yesterday. And I'm going to tell you guys something. Last night, I was like the Walking Dead, man. I stayed awake. Probably 90% of the trip back, of which... you know, Corey and I were out, and we actually met the guy who bred the Scootin' Fruity Puffers. We met the guy that bred the Scootin' Fruity Puffers in Germany. We went there. He gave us a 2-person presentation. He did his presentation for Corey and I. Also, Andy Graff was there from Aquarium Graff. Yeah, Aquarium Graff. which I don't think he has any videos up yet, but he better get some up pretty soon because one of my videos has him in it. So if he wants some promotion, then he better get in there. But yes, we have a stream today. Oh, what the hell happened? What was I talking about? Well, we met that guy, right, from the Scootin' Fruity Puffers. Then we basically got back late to the hotel. Then there was nowhere to eat. So we were like kind of scrounging around and then getting everything packed up for the next morning because our flight left Nuremberg to Paris at we had to be at the airport at 6:30. So we basically got up, got showered, got a breakfast, raged over to the airport. Then of course it got delayed a little bit, but we got on there, flew out. Then we were in Paris. We had like a 4-hour layover in Paris. Then they changed the gate a couple times. You know, I don't get it. I don't even know why they give you a gate number because it always changes when you go to the gate and sit down and hang out there for like 3 hours. And then they're like, we changed the gate. Don't you guys know? Like, I don't know. I'm sitting here at the gate. Why haven't you told the people here? You know, physically the humans that are here. So we have to run over to the other side of the airport. Then it's a 10-hour flight, but that one got delayed. And then I was tracking the airplane from the inside, and dude was only flying like 560 miles an hour, which is pretty darn slow for a 777. The plane that was flying the other way at one point was doing 720. You know what I mean? So I feel like maybe put in a little more effort flying and fly a little faster, bro. You know? So it was kind of one of those things. And then we got in, and then we were all the way in the back of the plane. So then we had to wait for everybody else to go through customs, and all that stuff. But luckily we got through without a hitch. Wasn't a big deal. Nothing, no one freaked out on us, and Vicky was there. Vicky was there when I got out, and my lovely future bride was just waiting there for me, just being beautiful, and but I didn't sleep throughout that whole trip, except for just a couple little like kind of nod off naps. Just a couple little nod off action naps, right? And then so I got home I think we got back here about 5, and then by like 9 o'clock last night it was like struggling to keep my eyes open till 9:30. So I kind of just passed out, was just like, dude, I can't take it anymore. I've got to go to sleep. So I got about as close as I could to get my sleep cycle back on, to be back here. My plan was to do a stream today, and we are doing a stream today. So I feel like that worked out. I got the lawn mowed and stuff, which is why I have aphids in my hair or whatever I got going on here. Maybe it's rabies, you guys. Maybe that's what rabies really is. It's weird stuff in your eyebrows. So that was pretty cool. Jay and Keller saying, what are the coolest livebearers you saw in the Grand Rapids? Oh, boy, howdy. There was just so many. I would really feel rude to be like one was better than another. But I will say this, 90% of the stuff that I saw was quality. I definitely wanted to buy stuff when I was there. I was for sure like, I want to buy that. I want to buy that. I want to buy that. But there's no way, because I'm going to be flying around the planet, and even if I did buy it and try to take it with me the whole entire time, I would. There's no way I could get it into France. Like that wouldn't have been cool. But Fish Girl from Connecticut says, need a vacation from the vacation. To be brutally honest with you guys, there's something that I would like everyone to know and understand. I did not look at this trip as a vacation. I would if I were you guys, I would look at this in the same vein that I did. I did not look at this trip, and neither did Corey. Neither of us looked at this trip as a vacation. The whole time we were out there, we spent as much time as possible face to face in meetings. Most of the days we got up and out of the hotel by like 6:45 in the morning, and typically got back around 11 to all the way. One night we got back at 3 in the morning because we were out with some kind of fancy people or whatever. So not a lot of sleep, not a lot of rest, and certainly not a lot of vacation type stuff. Although I will say this, it was awesome. It was awesome, and it was amazing, and there was really cool stuff going on. But this trip, the American Livebearers Association, that was more vacation-ish because it was like I already know a lot of the people there. That wasn't like as much as a work thing necessarily. It was more just like, hey, let's go, let's have a good time. But we also left there like the crack of dawn and got into Germany after like 24 hours of layovers and flights and all that kind of stuff. And basically we're already into meetings, out to dinner with some pretty highfalutin fancy people. You know what I mean? So I definitely had a good time. Because I generally have a good time even if I'm just hanging around digging a hole all day. You know what I mean? So I try to have as much I know that I sort of have the resting bitch face thing going on because I'm like, I got aphids in my eyebrows and a big weird beard and, all that kind of stuff. But I definitely do try to stay as positive as possible. And definitely had a good time, like Mike Howie, who's in the chat right there. He was one of those guys that helped to keep it enjoyable, especially in Michigan. Michigan was pretty cool for sure. I know a lot of people are asking about the Fluval stuff, and that will be coming up. I will talk about that later this week for sure, and then Corey and I will definitely be talking about some of that stuff later this week. I will say thumbs up, super cool, no bad news, nothing bad. There's nothing bad, just good stuff happened there, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. Gillet's asking, did you manage to rein in Corey's drinking? We were trying to drink as much water as we could, so unfortunately, Europe was reining in our water drinking by either being carbonated or just not being around, and they're like acting like it's a big deal to get us some water. You know what I mean? So Europe was sort of failing us on the water tip, I have to say. Let's see. Swamp Tao says, sounds like you made/strengthened some good connections. Yes, for sure. Definitely made a ton of connections. I will tell you this much. Without kind of spoiling the stuff from later this week, I spent the whole time in meetings. The whole time we were there was meetings or walking to another meeting or going to find where the other meeting is or walking walking while meeting. It was definitely occupied. Everything's thumbs up, you guys. Everything's thumbs up on that. In the meantime, today, I'd like to discuss a little more about Michigan. Michigan was great. I wanted to talk a little bit about the fish stores, just a little bit. I'm definitely surprised to see that in Michigan, just how much of actual aquascaping presence there actually is in Michigan. Considering like every store that we went to, it actually was like, hey, aquascaping is a focal point here. It might not be the only thing that they have, aquarium-wise or anything like that, because I definitely did see a healthy cichlid community. I definitely did see a healthy goldfish community, stuff like that. But every store that we went to that had freshwater stuff, the aquascaping was involved. Even the saltwater stuff was definitely cognizant of the aquascaping aspect of it. Oh, you guys, I'm so beat down from this trip. I just got to keep drinking water. You know what I mean? My voice is shot. But definitely, it was pretty cool to see how nicely kept the stores were, and like also how cognizant they were of like aquascaping, whether it was the salt portion or the freshwater portion. Was pretty darn cool, and that was awesome. Also, there was a youngster there who escapes. His name escapes my mind right now while I'm during the live stream here, and my apologies. But there's a very young man there who I met. It's fantastic. Got himself some Livebearers. That was so awesome to see. You know, young guy. You know, winning some bids. You know what I mean? Had a great time there, and also like tip of the hat to the dads that were there that brought their kids. I love that. I love seeing you know, people that are involved with their kids' projects and their kids' interests and stuff like that. Definitely fantastic. I definitely saw a lot of that while in Michigan, and that is just 100% encouraging to me. I know that I don't have any specific any specific experience of my own child because she ain't here yet. And that's all good, but I do have a lot of experience taking care of kids and stuff, and I would remind anybody out there that if you want your kids to show up cool, you know, we want your kids to end up being cool and stuff, you just got to spend time with them. And something like taking them to the Livebearer Association, I'm hoping it was the highlight of that, at least of his week, right? Hopefully. And hopefully he keeps going and keeps going. I love getting the opportunity to see like the next generation of aquascapers and stuff like that. And I know, strangely enough, George Farmer actually posted a video earlier today of his young apprentice who helped out feed his tanks and stuff while he was gone, which I thought was totally cute. Yeah, it was awesome. It's great to see the next generations coming up. And whether my baby girl is going to want to do aquascaping or not, I don't know. I don't know if she's going to want to. I don't know if that's something that she's going to be interested in, but only time will tell, and it's going to be a long time. So we're talking probably 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years down the road, and we'll see how it goes. I'm definitely not going to force them. I'm definitely not going to force them to do it. Definitely not going to force it upon them. If they're really interested in doing other stuff, I'll be there to go do that with them too. So I'm really looking forward to being a parent and just getting to enjoy a lot of the stuff that goes into that. I know most people always talk about the trials and tribulations, but I don't really care about any of that stuff. That's all just screaming and poop. You know what I mean? It's all just poop, pee, and screaming, and that kind of stuff. Ain't no big deal to me, you know what I mean? So, it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be pretty cool. So I've definitely helped take care of a lot of kids in my day, and I'm pretty stoked to pretty darn stoked to be able to take care of mine. It's going to be cool. Crazy Crazy North Wild Baby. Okay, I don't know how to say your screen name correctly. I'm not going to say that one. I'll figure it out, though. It says, what if she's terrified of fish like my little boy was? Well, I'm sure we'll figure it out. Fish Girl from Connecticut says, did I miss something? For sure, a girl. Yes, did announce that so far all the chromosome tests and all that stuff, 99% it's a girl. Yeah. There is a slight chance it might end up being a boy because baby still has to develop more to get like a for sure. But as far as the blood tests and chromosomal and all that kind of stuff, it's a girl. So either way. Oh, there we go. Crazy and wild, baby. All right. All right, crazy and wild. Got it. Okay, I'll try to remember that. I see the NW. Whenever I see NW in a row, I think Northwest, because I see that's everywhere out here where I live, Northwest. So the chromosomal stuff and all that says it's going to be cool, right? It's going to be a baby girl, but, might have some kind of weird secret surprise, some months down the road, but chances are pretty slim on that. So I'm just getting stoked and getting prepped for a girl. I think it's going to be cool. I wasn't wishing either way. I mean, other than I'm a boy, and it might be easier to relate to a boy, but I don't really care. I mean, I'm probably gonna be raising a tomboy anyhow. So I might do my best to. I don't know. She's probably gonna be tough, and so which I will say this is actually probably most likely an upside because I'm never gonna be one of those weirdos that's like polishing his gun on prom night or something. Like, I'll never be one of those weirdos. But if I raise a tomboy, she'll have it all handled. You know what I mean? So. Mr. Browns! So she'll probably be a tomboy because we'll be running around the woods and all that stuff. But then again, I don't know what the world is going to look like, 10, 15 years from now. It might just be normal. Hopefully. Hopefully the some of the equality stuff will just be more normal as time goes on. You know what I mean? And they'll just be like, yeah, that's just how ladies is now. They lift weights and go wild, which I can't say some of my most admirable friends are females that do the mud runs and the Spartan races and all that kind of stuff. One of my female friends, a bodybuilder, so I think, I think I'm good. I've got, a lot of good people around me, and I think everything's going to be cool on that tip. I don't know how I even what's wrong with me? I don't know how to try to get into some kind of weird intrinsic conversation about the sexes or whatever. I don't know. I guess what I was trying to say was it just seems to me in this day and age that I don't have to worry about having either one. I think if it was 30 years ago, I might be kind of stressed out that my daughter might end up having to be somebody's secretary or something like that. I guess that's where my thought was. I'm trying to relate that thought process of if you had a girl 50 years ago or something, you're like, oh great, she's going to have to type some jackwagon's memos or something, which is a pretty lame future to look forward to. But I think in 2018, you have a baby girl, you really have pretty much all the doors open, right? And maybe I think by the time she's old enough to do stuff, then they'll all be open, hopefully. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Trail off, get quiet for a second, and move on to a question from the chat. Somebody was asking for an internet. Jared Mallon was asking for an internet. We do that at the beginning of the show. That's why you got to be here for the beginning. It's exciting. Beck M with a $5 super chat asking, speaking of kids, live stream baby shower? You may need to get a P.O. box sometime soon. Two great questions. There will not be a live stream baby shower, although I will probably do a baby function when the baby shower happens on the live stream. So I would not put all of my friends and family and stuff on the internet. For Vicky's baby shower. I'm sure there's people that would not be comfortable with that, but I will probably do a Fish Fam style baby shower on here, where we'll probably just talk about nonsense and the regular kind of crazy stuff. But Beck was saying also that I may need to get a I may need to get a P.O. box. Right now, my functioning P.O. box is the Aquarium Co-op. Oh, and check this out. Like, I'm all super prepared. I'm all super prepared for this. I got a sticker. I got an Aquarium Co-op sticker. Look at this. Hashtag free plug. Wait, free plug. Do you guys like free plugs? As far as the P.O. box goes, if you guys want to send me fan mail or anything like that, y'all can send it to the Aquarium Co-op in Edmonds. You can look up their address on there, and you can send it to those guys. So if there's something that you got, and you can send it to those guys, and they will sort it out. Just put care of Corvus on there, to Corvus or Joel or whatever you feel like putting on there to make it obvious that, like, hey, it's for this guy. Pretty easy, okay? You can send it there anytime. Totally cool. And they will call me and let me know, hey, bro, you got a box here, right? And and I'll be like, oh, okay, cool. I'll pick it up next time I'm up there. So that is a pretty simple thing. I don't need to get a P.O. box. I looked into getting a P.O. box down here and getting one that's the right size, because the neighborhood that I'm in was going to be pretty it's kind of cost prohibitive, you know what I mean? Like, I think if people were sending me envelopes of money or something, then I would probably get it, but you know, I think realistically it was like, dude, that's another $150 a month that, you know. And luckily Corey was like, hey man, just ship it to the Co-op, because they get a ton of mail every day anyhow, so it's not really that big of a deal. And it has worked out fine. That system has worked out great. And somebody is asking that we need to get a Amazon wish list. Or Aqua Naturals saying do an Amazon wish list. Yes, we have an Amazon wish list. And speaking of that, I have to say that at the top of my Amazon wish list, I was looking at this kind of when I got back, because somebody was asking me about it. At the top of my Amazon wish list has been the 100mm macro lens, because I really need to get going on some that I really need to get going on more macro photography. Like I need to start really documenting some macro stuff. But from the trip, I realized that I think my next big thing that I'm gonna have to get is gonna be a gimbal. It's gonna be a gimbal, and believe you me, I would say that Jimmy's pretty much the guy that keeps reminding me I should just get a gimbal. And from having gone on this long trip, I think a gimbal is going to be the next thing that I get. So the macro photography thing is going to have to wait, but a gimbal will be the next big thing. I'm going to spend my things like $600. So I have to save all my pennies and figure out how to do it. I'm going to figure out how to do it and get that sorted, but I think that's going to be the next big thing off of the Amazon wish list. And as far as the baby stuff goes, I know that everybody chipping in and everything is super appreciated. I will do like a baby wish list or something when we're in that, you know what I mean? And we'll, I don't know. So, you know what I mean? Littering and Gimbal does the dwarf from Gimbal, the dwarf from Lord of the Rings. No, an actual gimbal is nowadays they have. Okay, let me explain it this way. It's basically a way of carrying your camera so it's always stable. And they have electric ones now that work really well. And they're about $500-$600. The one that I'm looking at's $569. So that's going to be the next big addition. I was going to get a new monitor because I realistically have been color grading some of my videos inappropriately wrong, like a dingleberry, and actually found an IPS monitor, which actually will keep my color tones correct while I'm editing. and I'm gonna have to bite the bullet on that one, but that one's on there too. I'm just actually just looking at it and talking about what the costs that are coming up soon. Luckily, that's only like $200. So that's not like out of this world crazy or anything like that. So hopefully I'll just be getting those things going, rolling pretty soon. Tampa Tom, what's up, Tampa? Tampa Tommy. Good to see you, buddy. He's asking, how's the Ford Explorer? And I did notice in the early chat, somebody was hoping that I had the V6 4.0. That is the one that I have, the 98. So it is still running fairly well, even though it has lots of problems and has been crashed into. Here's the deal. Those guys did not want to take my truck because the guy's crappy insurance, basically. The guy has super terrible insurance, so now I'm going to have to find a specific body shop. And I just did not, I'm just going to be honest with you, I just did not have to be able to actually get it into the shop. I basically took it over to the shops, and then they were like, wait a minute, what? It's basically the amount of money that they sent me is like enough money to act like they're going to start fixing my truck. So I don't think the truck is honestly going to get fixed. I don't, at this point, I'm just so fed up with that whole situation that right before I left, I was just like, all right, forget it. Like I was just so fed up. I was getting ready to travel international for 2 weeks and all that kind of stuff. And was just like, look, I wanted to drop this off so you guys could just fix it. But basically they were just like, this dude's insurance company is a nightmare, and you're basically, I was essentially going to end up coming back here to a giant bill to get my truck back, and then just hope that I would be able to argue with those guys to get money out of the insurance guys. And I don't know if you guys have ever tried to get money out of insurance guys. It's a nightmare. It's me versus a whole bunch of people saying no. And it just seemed like a big, huge, gigantic waste of time, considering my truck still ran. I'm like, well, I can still drive it around. I can't use the trailer. The spare tire situation is all crumpled in and all that. But it just kind of like tossed my hands up and go like, look, I can drive my truck around. I can still use it. But it would be crazy if if I came back here and then had to cut like a $2,500 check or something, or a $3,000 check, when first of all, I ain't got that kind of money to be cutting for that, and then hope that the insurance was going to reimburse me. So I would essentially just have no money, and hope that the insurance people would get back to me. As you guys know, I kind of live on a pretty threadbare budget, so I just don't have a ton of, I mean, if I had like a bunch of money in savings or something, I probably would have just sold my truck or something by now. And I probably would have just sold my truck, basically, and been like, all right, I'll get a new truck or something. Oh, Schwisky's wondering why it's so hot. Have we ever heard of air conditioning? No, Washington doesn't have air conditioning, but our house does. Chad Krantz loved my Explorer and called it a truck. All my friends call it a glorified soccer mom. Soccer mom van. Yeah, I mean, I beat that Explorer up. I run it like a truck. I did lumber in it all the time and stuff like that, and I did have a little trailer. But I can't hook the trailer up to it right now because it's a disaster. Let's see here. Insightful one, fish keeping is saying, I was one of the first female firefighters in Northern California back in the days when it wasn't something women did. Just teach her self-confidence and she can do anything. Yeah, I think, it's the way I'm going to teach her, and that's the way it's going to go. Like I said, it being 2018, there isn't a whole lot of obstructions in the way nowadays. So I think I think that's the only thing I would have been reticent of, 50 years ago or something like that. I would be like, oh man, this is going to be really difficult. But maybe I wouldn't have thought about it at the time. I don't know. I don't know if it would have occurred to me at the time, if that would have come up in my head. Maybe I would have just been like, yeah, whatever. I don't know. I can't say that I'm a perfect human. And, maybe back then I would have just been like, yeah, whatever, it is what it is. Hard to say. But I think that's really the only thing that I'm really kind of freaked out about. Except for, of course, like, period stuff, I guess. Realistically, But, I mean, she's going to have a great mom. And, that'll just be one of those things that Vicky's going to take care of, right? So, I don't think that'll be a big deal. I really don't. But, yeah, hopefully she'll be a rock climbing, lion taming, scientist wizard, I don't know. Is that too much to ask? I guess. See if she can't be a logger extraordinaire, carpenter, electrician, plumber. Can she do all of these things? Can she be an artist? Can she play the saxophone? We've got a lot of things to cover. Is she a good snowboarder? Is she good at snowboarding? Hopefully she's a good snowboarder. We'll see. I'm trying to think of a few other things. She better be pretty good at whitewater rafting. She better be a pretty good hunter. She's going to have to definitely be a good farmer. Oh, the dog just, jumped down and went running off. So there's going to be a lot of things that we're definitely going to have to cover, and I think she'll be up to the task, and I'm excited for it. Either way. Secret History says if you've birthed fish and cleaned fish tanks, I think period stuff will be a breeze. Well, if you've ever been around a teenage lady, it's some strong emotions going on around there. So I figure probably some emotional outbursts and things along those lines. But I'm a pretty patient guy, and, that kind of stuff just happens, right? Let's see. Anyone from LTQ Aquatics here? I have no idea what LTQ Aquatics is. What is that, Aiden? I'm confused. Favorite Navy saying? It is what it is, lol. LOL. LOL! Yep. Laughing out loud. Atomics IGN, if you talk to Bodie guys, you can have them do it right, or you can have them just do it. Take that bumper off, stick a big old steel bar on the back, and call it rustic. Yeah, as far as my truck goes, I might just end up, I don't know why I said Bodie guys. It was capitalized. Talk to Bodie guys, body guys. Yeah, body work guys. Yeah, a good buddy of mine runs a body shop, so I might just end up talking to him and be like, hey, what's the $200 fix here? Can we just weld this thing up and bang it out and put it on your, put it on your rack and just bend it straight and go with it, and just weld the bumper on there or something. I'll probably just go with the ghetto fix at this point, because it's just going to be too much to get it like professional body work done. It's just going to cost way more. I mean, I know it's going to cost way more. The body shop guys know that it's going to cost way more, and they basically cut a check for $350. So they estimated that it would take 2 hours to repair it. That was the insurance company's estimate, was 2 hours to repair it. So they basically are assuming that the bumper just unbolts and they just put a new bumper on it, even though the whole rack assembly and everything is all bent in and pushing the spare tire in and all that kind of stuff. So the insurance company is a disaster, and I may end up just forcing it. I may just end up forcing it if I can find a body shop that will force them to pay for the repair. But as of yet, the 5 places that I talked to are like, dude, we don't really want to deal with that. So we'll see how it goes. We might just end up going ghetto. If anybody could tell me what LTQ Aquatics is, I have no idea what that is. It's getting hot in here. Dan Squire says we get our weather 2 weeks after you guys. It's nice knowing what's coming. Yeah, Yep, that's kind of part of the deal. It's pretty funny. All right, so let's see. What else did we catch from the Michigan trip? So the Michigan trip, there was a big banquet dinner. I didn't go to the big banquet dinner because Mike and I, we went out and found ourselves, Mike Howie, who's in the chat, or at least he was earlier. We went out and found ourselves some barbecue because that was important to do because we were like, dude, we want barbecue. Turns out the barbecue, that the banquet was barbecue also. So kind of nuts to that one, but a lot of the spots were filled up too. So instead of clogging up the banquet, it was like, hey, let's go get some barbecue. We can eat outside. That's gonna be pretty fun. That's gonna be pretty fun. And so we went out and got some barbecue. Wasn't as good as the barbecue we got the first night. The first night was a place called The Pit, I believe, which was just literally like a walk-up place. Like they had like 2 tables outside, but it was like just the kind of place you walk in, get your stuff, and get out of there. They did a fantastic job. That was a terrific. The next place we went to on the banquet night was pretty much, excuse me, I've been coughing, you guys, was pretty much on point, but I'd give it more of like a 7 instead of like a 9. The first night we went was a 9, and then we didn't want to go and replicate and go back to the same spot, but realistically, Corey had a great point that was like, I probably should have just gone. We probably just should have gone back to the same place because we knew it was going to be awesome. But of course, I want to experience more than just the one barbecue place while we were out there. So it was kind of like, but it was enjoyable for sure. And as I said, Mike, Howie, and I had a good time, like kind of cruising around, chatting it up, and finding a place and doing all that stuff. Kyle Pace says Corey's talk at the dinner was super good. He got a standing ovation. That is true. I heard about the standing ovation, and that is great. You guys know that I love Corey. I love him to death, but the last thing I want to do is sit in a. I'm just being brutally honest here. I'm just being really honest. The last thing I want to do is sit in on one of his presentations. I know that just sounds like I'm being mean, but I've heard a lot of it already, and I've been to a bunch of his presentations. And he doesn't really repeat them. I know that he like redoes them, and they're really good. I'm just kind of the wrong audience for it because I'm around him so much. You know what I mean? It's like I'm supposed to sit here and be quiet. I can't even engage with. Oh man, like I'll probably start yelling stuff out. You know what I mean? Like. It's just I'm not responsible enough. I'm not responsible enough to like be quiet while he's doing a presentation. You know what I mean? So, it's just good for me. I know to not be in the same room. You know what I mean? So, and I love that you guys learn a ton from it. I've definitely learned a ton from Corey over the 100 years that we've been hanging out as best good friends for the last 14 months. Or 16 months, or I don't know how long we've been hanging out, but, it's just one of those things. I hope people can relate. I'm certainly not talking bad on his presentations or anything like that, but it's just like, but like, I will say this, like if L.R. Bretz or like Sergeant Tanks or somebody like that was going to do a presentation, I might have been like, dude, I got to check this out. Because I've gone to a lot of presentations, but I've been to a lot of Corey's, and just kind of one of those things. But Gone Mad has a good point here. Let's not forget late night hot doggery at the what's that place called? What's that hot dog place called that we went to? Hot dog place. Let me see. It'll come up. Yesterdog. So we went out late night and went to Yesterdog. If anybody knows, it's like this old school, super old school institution in Grand Rapids. That's like, it's like this place. It's like open super late. It's like college kids go there, you know. Well-known, bustling hot dog joint. It's a vintage style eatery. Can you open the, what is this stupid thing doing? Go to the website. What's wrong with you? All right, there we go. And it's one of those places that has like 5 menu items. You know what I mean? Where it's like, they have 6 hot dogs. Whoa, they upped the ante. We got 6 hot dogs. And they're like basically open all the time kind of thing. Kind of a crazy old joint. And it was pretty cool. That was definitely like an institutional kind of place to go to. It was a pretty interesting place to go to for sure. And definitely was cool to go there at night. And was definitely a good time. I thought that was awesome. That was definitely the most memorable place. I wouldn't say that I was really like impressed by the food all that much. I mean, it's hot dogs with stuff on it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I mean, it's like literally hot dogs with stuff on it. So, it's not that big of a deal, right? It's really not like that big of a deal to be getting hot dogs with stuff on it. It's more to like actually have gone to the place, and it was pretty cool. It was definitely cool to be able to go to a place like that. Seattle definitely has a bunch of joints like that. Like Beth's Cafe comes to mind, like the 5 Spot, like the Hurricane got torn down. It's not there anymore. There was like, let's see. Oh, there's like the Pine Cone. That place got torn down. A lot of the places in Seattle, most of them like got ripped down. You know, like Charlie's up on Capitol Hill. That place got torn down. The Rock Candy, like DVA, like most of all the good old stuff from Seattle it's gotten torn down. You know, so there's not that many left in Seattle, but there's a few that you can still go to. And some people are saying it was Chad Krotz says it's blasphemy. But I mean, going to do it, yeah, it was great. It was fun to go there and stuff like that. I mean, there's really no complexity to the food. I mean, you warm up a hot dog and you put some chili on it. That just, you know, you really could do that at home. It just doesn't. It takes really virtually nothing to kind of put that together, like culinary wise. So, was it that interesting? There were places we went to in Germany that were pretty darn good culinary wise. But I can't think of any that in Michigan that were like, whoa, top notch. But top notch ice cream in Michigan, as always, you guys. The ice cream is on point in Michigan. I don't care what anybody says if Michigan's known for it or not. The ice creams is on point in Michigan, okay? One of the ice creams I got while I was there was like some vanilla ice cream with a ribbon of raspberry and then the like cheesecake crumble stuff. And then they dipped that whole thing in dark chocolate and it was on a stick. And I will say this. It was $6 for an ice cream. I would probably pay that again. It was top notch. It was a top notch ice cream, you guys. It was worth $6. I don't even know, man. It was amazing. I did take a picture of it. I did post it online, so you probably could go figure out what it was. Maybe you're lucky enough to be somewhere where you could like buy them. But that was amazing. I don't know if you'd be able to buy a box of them if they're $6 a piece and there's like 10 in there or something. It's a lot of money. But if you get a chance to get one, I would scrape the $6 together. Maybe they're cheaper if you bought them at a store. Obviously, this was like a restaurant reselling them, so the markup was probably pretty high. But that was awesome. And I was pretty stoked. That ice cream was good. It's still... That ice cream is still on my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ice cream is still on my mind, and I'm thinking, I don't know, is it worth a flight to Michigan to go find the place we got them at? I don't know, but I'm definitely going to look into it, and maybe it's something. I don't know if you can Amazon Prime. I don't think you can Amazon Prime ice cream, but I'll figure something out, you guys. You know what I mean? I think if I could airship, like, live shrimp, I think maybe they could figure out how to ship ice cream, right? They got to. They got to be able to figure that out, I think. They got to be able to figure that out. Priscilla MK Art with a $5 super chat saying, DAPA money, forget about the Pinto fund. The Pintos is still the plan, you guys. Replacing the cherry shrimp is still for sure the plan, and that is going to be 100% the plan moving forward with the 150-gallon shrimp tank. We're definitely going to still be going forward with that, though I do have some possible exciting surprises coming down the road with what shrimp or where they're going to be coming from, because as I said, we went to Interzoo. Did I say Interzoo? Mr. Chips, did I say Interzoo? Sorry, Interzoo 2018, and definitely made some acquaintances that may or may not be able to supply some pretty cool deal fish or shrimp situation, so we'll see how that goes. Ultimate Fish Keeping shows that I've been out having a hectic couple of weeks with work in the hotel and also helping my wife out with her business. All right. Good evening. How are things? Just in from work. Sorry I missed your streams recently. I just got back from Europe, so I haven't been doing live streams. This is the return. This is the return show coming back from not only Michigan. We're mainly talking about Michigan today, the Michigan convention, but we also were in Europe for Interzoo. So if you know what Interzoo is, you might have an idea what we were doing. You might have an idea, but we've been gone up until yesterday. Barely got in. Managed to handle it. But I am kind of trailing off and just kind of losing it here. I wonder if anybody's got any... I'm trying to read through the chat here and see if there's any pressing questions. I try to get to those ones as much as possible. We might be just wind it up here after about an hour and a half of my rambling, right? I'm running out of water too, you guys. What am I going to do? Savannah, the Aqualama, says, don't be like my parents and leave it to nature. I learned what my period was when I started and was terrified I was dying. Yeah, that's no good. I won't leave it up to nature. Try to teach my kid as much as I can. Hardest days of sobriety are the hot sitting on the porch days and nights when everyone wants a cold one. I don't find that to be my experience. Secret History, or Alex. I don't find that to be my experience, the hot days. Mine's different. Aquarium Coop says, oh man, the first barbecue place we went to might have been the best food of the trip. It might have been. Yeah, it might have been. I might almost agree with you on that one. It was pretty top notch. I will say the Pit in Grand Rapids, Michigan. If you're anywhere around there, just go there and get that food and stick it in your mouth hole, because it was pretty amazed. It was pretty amazed and very accommodating too. So, you know. Let's see. Oh, Candy Overhaul says, see more of Joel's artwork at darkstararts.com. Also, Joel at darkstararts.com is a great way to email me if you don't happen to be somebody like a Patreonizer. You guys, shameless self-plug. People get mad when I do people get super pissed when I do the commercial part. So if you're one of those people, I don't know, feel free to just keep being super pissed, right? But a lot of people around this neck of the woods knows that we have a Patreon here. Now, the Patreon is the biggest way that we are able to fund these projects, able to do stuff, able to move forward in doing bigger and better things. I will remind everybody that one of the big giant things that we want to do is do a big giant pond, or basically a big giant 20,000 gallon aquarium with a big giant acrylic glass side on it, and it is something that I'm willing to do. Most of us most of us, and when I say most of us, there's probably only 1 or 2 people out there that would probably be able to afford a giant 20,000 gallon aquarium just out of pocket. And you know what? I don't know any of those people. Otherwise, I would have told them to just give me the damn money, right? I would have been like, give me the money, bruh. But I don't actually know any of those people. And probably because of that reason, you know what I mean? If I was like threatening them, I wouldn't actually do that, you know what I mean? But I don't actually know anybody who wants to finance it as an individual person, but our biggest goal on the Patreon here, goal is to be able to crowdfund a giant pond, which I'll be able to document and, take suggestions on putting things in. And guess what? I could probably even make some phone calls now or even some emails now about people that may or may not want to put something really cool in it, right? So that might happen at some point in time, but the basic idea is to crowdfund that big project. That's going to be one of those things. And the reason why it's a 26,000 gallon aquarium is because that is what is it, 22,000 gallon aquarium? I may be misquoting myself, but the reason why it's that size is because that's the size of a shipping container. The cool thing is we'll be able to load it up on a truck, on a semi, and be able to take it around town to town, which is something I definitely want to get to someday, but obviously I just can't afford to do it out of pocket. And, of course, most people are leaving the live stream now because I'm talking about things like Patreon, and it pisses people off. So, bye, 40 people that left. But I'm happy to say we are, we've dropped down to 289 Patreons, which is understandable. I get it. I understand. You can't just do it forever. But thank you to the people that have contributed and had to drop out because of extenuating circumstances. I understand. I totally understand it. And that's just life sometimes. And my best wishes to you guys. Hopefully everything gets straightened out and gets sorted out and you guys get right back on track. And I've also had a few people that I've also had a few people that what was the word? Oh crap, what was happening? Lost my train of thought. Now I'm sure Jimmy's going to make fun of me again for having lost my train of thought. Crap. What was I talking about? I don't know, I forgot. But anyhow, let's just talk about something else. What happened? What was I talking about? The 20,000? Oh, we had a bunch of people drop off. We did 20,000 gallons something. I don't know. Either way, I'm super appreciative of... Oh, what the hell. I lost my train of thought, you guys. Oh. Dude, I'm sweating, and I'm probably going to fall asleep. But Randy Hightower is still here. We love you. Oh, that was what I was... Okay, oh, sorry. It's back. Okay. I was going to mention that I have recently been expressed by a couple of people that they are a little bit concerned about the fact that I have to pay a high tax rate on either YouTube money or Patreon money or any of that kind of stuff. Do not concern yourselves with how much taxes I have to pay. Paying taxes is just a fact of life, and I am not stressed out or concerned about it. It's not that big of a deal. I do have to pay a large portion because I am an independent creator, which is fine by me, and everything is going well. And it really is just a part of having to do business that I do have to pay a higher percentage because I don't have I don't have a company matching, right? So that's the reason why it's that high. Typically, as an employee, you'll pay a lower percentage because your employer is matching. They do have to pay a portion of your income tax. So I basically just have to pay all of it. That's really what it boils down to. And you know what? That's just a fact of life. It's not a big deal. So anybody out there that's concerned about percentages that get taken or any of that kind of stuff, don't stress about it. You know, everybody chipping in, thank you very much. I very much appreciate it. Things are moving forward. I'm going to do the best I'm gonna do the best that I can and keep doing the best that I can. And realistically, I'm just kind of at the point now where I'm losing my brain. And but thank you everybody for coming out tonight, tonight. I don't even know what day. What day is it? Is it Monday? It's like Monday. It's daytime still. I can see the sun out there, even though I'm gonna call it nighttime. But I noticed that a lot of people are kind of dropping off because it's probably a busy Monday. Dan's wondering if the super chat's broken again. No, we had some lovely super chatters today from Mr. Gone Mad himself, M. Howie9, thank you very much, Big Texas Tanks, Beck M, and Priscilla MK Art. Those are all our super chatters today. Thanks, you guys. I 100% appreciate it. It's from the bottom of my heart, really. It really is. And I don't know if I ever sound like... I'm always confused if I sound like I'm being genuine when I say that. Because, like, I always wonder if people are just like, oh, it's just some weirdo who's just saying words. But it realistically is. It's realistically how I, it's just realistically like, thanks, guys. I super appreciate it. Oh, and Michael Faulkner here coming in right at the end of the show. Saying, sorry I haven't been around much. Life, just because of life. Welcome home and congratulations on the baby. Oh, thanks, Michael. I appreciate it. I'm excited. Baby's going to be cool. So far, tests are good. And hopefully everything will just keep going. And I'm not going to go take a nap. But what I am going to do is... I'm going to make like a baby and head out, and I'm probably going to go back to weed whacking some more. So, but glad to be home, glad to be stateside where we have regular water to drink, that's not all freaky carbonated and stuff. And we'll be back on Wednesday, but tomorrow we'll be on the Real Fish Talk, and let's see if Koopy and I can even track what is going on in the conversation between Corey and I. Both being super jet lagged and stuff. We'll just see how it goes. And plus, we have a lot of cool stories to talk about tomorrow. The two of us. I don't want to spoil them. You know what I mean? I don't want to spoil the. I didn't want to spoil what we had going on, or what the two people the two people stories that we have tomorrow. I didn't want to spoil them today, so I kind of shied away from too much of that conversation. But if you guys are interested in some of those stories, tomorrow on the Real Fish Talk will be the spot to be at it. You know what I mean? So hope everybody else sleeps tight. Have a fantastic night out there, everybody. Don't go shooting any fireworks off because that's ridiculous. And I'll talk to you all later. Don't cough too much and just go ahead and find the button.